Hello, it's Richard Wilson coming to you from downtown Singapore. I'm here to speak at a private equity conference tomorrow on family offices. Here's the downtown skyline. Here's the Sands Marina resort. I've recorded some videos from up there before, which you might have seen. And what I wanted to talk to you today was about the future of the single family office industry. This is something that I've never really heard anybody talk about before, and it kind of blows me away how little education there is on single family offices. And it's something our team's really focused on. We acquired singlefamilyoffices.com recently. We're about to come out with a single family office book with interviews with single family offices. And it's just a huge area of focus for us. We consult and advise single family offices. Right now we're working with one in the Bahamas as well as one here in Malaysia. We're also speaking to a $850 million family in the United States about how to set up their single family office, as well as a couple brothers worth about $400 million on how they're setting up their single family office in the future. And it's just something that we're focused on every single day. So in this video, I just wanted to share with you my vision of where the single family office industry is going. And after thinking about it every day for several years and working with family offices for about 10 years, I thought I might be able to share some insights of what the single family offices themselves are saying and where the evidence points the industry is going. So the biggest thing is just that the industry is growing very rapidly. In a place like here in Singapore, the whole term of family office is growing rapidly, and wealth here is growing rapidly. In places like Turkey and Brazil and Indonesia, the whole use of a family office structure is a bit more behind in the times. United States and Europe kind of leads the way with having the most formally formed single family offices and multifamily offices in the world. And so the whole trend of actually creating a family office to manage your wealth is very much on the rise still. So in 5 to 7 years, I expect the industry to be 3 times larger than it is now. In 15 years, 20 years, I expect it to be literally 10 times larger than it is now. That is the single family office industry. Because the industry is growing, that means each segment will grow. Just like when the hedge fund industry went from 1,000 hedge funds to 10,000, that means that the number of global macro hedge funds went up. The same goes for single family offices. The number of single family offices that use a virtual family office model is going up. The number that use an outsourced chief investment officer is going up. The number of single family offices that only have $40 to $50 million and one full-time person, oftentimes a son running the money, is going up as well. And so I think that you're not only going to see these $300 million and $5 billion type single family offices from somebody like Boone Pickens, being started up. You're going to be seeing these small, more nimble, more agile, and flexible single family offices or single quasi-multi-family offices that serve 2 or 3 families popping up all over the place. I think that in the future, there'll be several platforms dedicated to single family offices. There'll be whole conferences and events dedicated just to single family offices and not, the whole family office industry. I also, kind of biased, but I predict that the family offices group, right now are about a top 3 brand in the family office industry. And one of my optimistic predictions is that we'll be the #1 brand for single family offices. We're dedicated to the space right now, and I think we're pretty early on in doing so. We have 64,000 members in our global private equity association, and we're having dozens join more every week. We own singlefamilyoffices.com. We're writing a book on the industry, and basically we just see that there's so much value to add here in just helping $100 million, $500 million families just get transparency in what the fundamentals of family offices are, and not making them travel to a conference and not making them pay $5,000 to learn those basics. It shouldn't be hard to learn the very basics of just about anything nowadays. So we're kind of correcting that inefficiency, that that secretiveness and that grayness, and that around the whole family office concept and what's going on. My final couple predictions about single family offices is that in the future, there'll always be some that are very discreet and very private, especially here in Asia and in some other parts of the world, like in the Middle East. There'll be some that are very private. But I do think there'll be a segment of single family offices that'll be less private as well. We just had a full-day family office workshop in Los Angeles, and we had several family offices speaking, 4 of them actually. And these single family offices, spoke in front of a public crowd. They had their name on our event brochure, and one of them individually is always looking for joint ventures. He's a 6th-generation family office, and he actually has a professional website and a brand he's getting out there. And he just sees he can get more deal flow and do co-investments or club deals by doing such a thing, where in the past, single-family offices always tried to kind of live under a rock and, you know, hide from the general public. They don't want to be bombarded by sales pitches and investment professionals, understandably. And, you know, they refer to those people as wolves, and they try to stay away from them. But I see in the future that changing, and there being this new breed of single-family offices that are aggressively marketing themselves because it gets them better and more deal flow over time. And, you know, that basically sums up what I think the future of the single-family office industry will look like. You know, as it grows much, much larger, there's going to be just more splintering in terms of the types of single-family offices out there. And a virtual family office, people have been using that term for 5 or 7 years now, and still most people don't know what it means, but it is growing. You can see a video we have on that topic. It is growing, and there are hundreds, if not over 1,000 virtual family offices out there already. And another term that's kind of on the horizon is a Meta family office. And a Meta family office is a new term that was just started to use about a year ago in the industry. And right now there are only, you know, maybe 5 or 10 Meta family offices in the world out of about 10,000 total. So that's an area which I really see growing, and it's a perfect example of how the industry is just going to splinter further and diversify itself naturally as it grows to 15,000 and 20,000 family offices all over the world. So hope you enjoyed this video. It's Richard Wilson coming to you from the Family Offices Group. You can come see our other content at familyofficesgroup.com or check out my book. It's called The Family Office Book, Investing Capital for the Ultra Affluent. And I hope to see you again soon.